above most streets. Us two in these streets, diamonds on my feet, caught up in these talks, circling my head top. Should've been more cautious. Now I got what I wanted. Many I've been here before, made it out of 11 more. Like my phone CoinEx, so I can't stop. I want it all. Listen up, I'm calling you. I need you to tell the truth. Remember when you wanted to. Remember that I said what you. Turn around, eat your greens. When you fight, but you do be clean. Then you come to the bed and you love real dirty. Everybody sweater drops, you're real keen. Bring let me get your juiciest piece. Can't remember when I had to say please. The shops of the club never had no boundary. How's it gonna be? Wanna eat these centipedes? Where we gonna go? You're gonna need these calories. Giving me a treat to refill these batteries. Then you only them on your knees, there's no way to dream. Ooh, it's sneaking up on you. There's nothing you can do. There's things about the boo. Sneaking up on you, there's nothing you can do. There's things about the boom. I lose control when you do it like that. Ain't got you love when I go mad. Got you at the perfect time. I was watching it. You know what you want to do, but I can never be. For much, it's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup, find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 and I'm singing like whoa, oh, oh, oh. Lit check, been a minute, let me hit the homies in a group text. 10 years, same team, true vets. Got a couple trophies, but no chains on the neck. No. Got a couple Cardis, we don't flood with baguettes. It's a very small world, so my hand holds. Wake up, make the money, that's a man's role. Loyalty and love is what I stand for. Can't forget about trust, but first, please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup, find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 and I'm singing like whoa, oh, oh, oh. It's the weekend, we've been working. I'll be posted, fireside. Bring my boys in, bring your girls in. We'll be posted up all night. Limited edition, not the regular one. We shut down the city like when presidents come. I am not a rookie, I'm a veteran, bruh. Promise I'ma take it easy later on. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup, find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 oh. And I'm singing like, oh, oh. SOS, oh. Please fill my cup. Double up, double up. Yeah. Double up, double up, double up. The money I color, 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 color. Double up, double up, double up. The money I color, 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 color. 2 turns of 4, 4 turns of 8. Sleep and get paid. Rich when I wait. I bet the bank. I set the pace. Guess what I make? That's what I make. Counting pockets, that's a trending topic. You got this and you got that, but got no spending options. I keep quiet, but still get it rocking.
Check, 1 2 1 2.
I keep quiet, moving stuff for silent.
Buenos días, mis perros. Estoy listo. Vámonos.
For those of you that like, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome everyone to the daytime edition of Crypto Charts with the Road Dog. My name is Lane and we're getting situated here. Talk about the market today, what we've been talking about before, what we see playing out today, possibly playing out, not confirmed. Well, kind of confirmed. Let's get into it. Well, let's see, what do we call this? Early Bitcoin confirmation signal? Yeah, I'm going to show that to you. But don't get too excited yet. Not yet, not yet. We still got some other things to look for. But I'm liking the direction that we're headed. Maybe we'll get this confirmation. Maybe it's something else. Don't be fooled. They get it fooling you. The market makers are very clever. Very clever they are. See what they do on Fridays. Then see what they do on Mondays. So some interesting signs there. I said, watch for this next, and that's what we'll talk about, and why I'm almost bullish. I've been neutral. I've been in neutral territory watching this scenario play out. I'm going to zoom out to the daily. You can see it better with a lot less noise, get rid of the indicators and all that stuff. Can't get rid of these price levels because I'm holding on to that. I'm not savvy enough to use object tree yet. Okay, so the first hurdle we've made some progress on. Oh, gosh darn it. I guess we do have to do this one on the smaller time frame because you can't see what it is. So on the smaller time frames here, you know, the biggest obstacle was this trend line that we lost. That was the biggest thing. If we regain that, that's the biggest sign to look for. Getting above this lost trend line, that will be huge, making all this a bear trap. To put in a short synopsis, that's what I'm looking for overall. There's some other things that, you know, some other people are looking on the smaller time frames. It's always good to start out with the bigger time frame to get your thesis and work your way down. And sometimes when people are just following, you know, the smaller time frames, the 1 minute, the 5, 7, 15, something like that, you know, they miss a lot of the data because they can't zoom out. And so at some point, I mean, it works following minute patterns and things like that on small scale, but zooming out, you can see the bigger picture, and that's the one that really matters. So if I were to make this just a little bit more seeable, we got this little cool tool over here called Head and Shoulders. Let's see if we can spell this out just a little bit. Got a possible shoulder. Well, we'll just call it a shoulder because it did confirm, and I'll show you that. We're developing a neckline. Straighten this up just a little bit. It doesn't turn green unless you got your little necklines right. It's picky. It needs to be picky. So this is what we're kind of looking at, especially on the smaller time frames. The 4 hour, it shows up in 2 hour I'm on right now. It shows up really beautiful here, right? This could possibly give us a cool measure move, the full extent of that measure move, which a lot of times it does not meet that full extent, but should it gets us right up here to this area, which we got marked at $48,430. Now our neckline, this red line that I've got right here, well, it's got to have a neck. You got a shoulder, you got a head, you got another shoulder. We need a neckline, connect them all, or it's not a valid pattern. So we've been waiting all this time, thought we might get it here to come up and confirm. We needed to come up to this area about 43,650-ish, just on these smaller time frames to confirm that pattern, and we did that, but we haven't held it yet. Looks like we might be, as we speak, inching right back up there. So that's extremely bullish in my opinion. Here's what I need to see. We got a confirmation, but that doesn't mean, oh, it's time to jump in, gung-ho. No, because these things can fail. I mean, it can easily get reversed here. Even if it does confirm, you can still look for a retest. It just won't make a lower low. I mean, things can come down and everybody says, oh, gosh darn it, I'm out. And then confirm its move to the upside. So be aware of that. Just because we're up here doesn't mean that we're ready to bump up, but if we do, that's a good sign. So 43,650, that target did get met. That was a possible trade take profit target. So we got that. That's cool. What I want to see, it would be cool. Hopefully we will. It looks like we're trying to break back into this trend line now, and if so, that could give us the bullish push up. If we can get price to come up here, now we got this other trend line that we got to deal with, right? We lost this one, so that's resistance now. So that's coming in right around 44,000. So do expect, a small time reversal of about that area, 44,000. That's a psychological resistance area. That's a psychological number. People say, well, I'm going to take profit at 40,000 or 44,000. Nice even round number. Front run that. 43,968, for instance, and 32 cents. You're much likely to get your order filled. There might be a lot of people front running that. You never know. All right, so possible rejection there. I'm looking. Let me just copy this one. Come here, buddy. That didn't work. Click. Get the little crosshairs. Click it. Hit control. Drag it up. Look, I got a copy. Put it right there because I like price labels. It makes it a lot easier to see what's going on instead of looking over to the right there to figure it out. But I'm looking for rejection right here at 44,000. Let's front run it just a hair. 43,979, 96 cents. That works. So possibility we could come up here and be very bullish for today, and then as the night comes back, we retest this trend line area. But we got to get above it first, and we're losing it right now on the smaller time frames. We'll take a look at it. Ichimoku Cloud's over here looking, very supportive. So I'm ready for you, baby. Go, make your move. Shine, Bitcoin, shine. That's what Ichimoku Cloud is saying. It's kind of like the cheerleader until you get too close to it, and then it's like a spider. Might grab you and suck you into its little spidey web hole. So the scenarios I'm hoping for, looking for, this is what we'd want to see for some more upward action, but still not out of the woods yet. Not out of the woods yet. The big one, the big kahuna we want to get above is right here. And the more time that we spend to get up there, the harder it is, the higher the goal gets. So let's bump it up a few candle segments here. So we're starting to look about 44.5. In addition to that, we have this other high that we had. We really need to get above that. Now, seeing that would be a great first sign. So making it above this little area. You're getting me confused, old dog. You got too many targets. It's just like step by step, though, man. Really, it's just this step first. If we get above that, great. Then we got this trend line to contend with. So just stepping our way back up. Maybe it won't come back and retest this area, although it should. It needs to. That would be a better sign, a better healthy sign for it to come back to 43,600-ish, 700-ish for a retest before moving it up. I would actually really like to see that. But eventually, we've got to see these signs. Something like this play out. It may stumble around through this area, but we got to get above this trend line. That's the main thing. So I know that we're saying we got confirmation here at this line. That is true. That is true. But I'm not going to go gung-ho just yet. This pattern is not quite as clear on the bigger time frames, the ones that matter the most. It's kind of there, but not really. It's really showing up on the smaller time frames, and I think that's worth noting there. And I've got my trend line drawn mostly from candle bodies, depending on what time frame I'm looking at it. But you know, still need to consider these little wick ideas. Let me move this down a little bit. And it varies a little bit from time frame to time frame. What I'm trying to say is there may be a little bit more wiggle room here, meaning that I'm actually putting a little bit more weight on this higher high, on this previous high that we had. So getting above this area, let's just go ahead and take this one off. We made it up there. We're saying, hey man, we're on the right track. But it's really this guy right here. Let's paint him all nice and bright. Some kind of red. Thicken him up a little bit. This guy right here. And then of course we got the trend line. Wherever it falls on that, has more resistance. We got to get above 43, 844, 48, 850. Just call it 850. 43, 850. Get above that, it looks a lot more promising. Now, the things that the market makers like to do is make us look like we're headed to these great little areas, and that, you know, might even get us up here and make us feel that this pattern is confirmed, only again to bring us back down. So no need to get too bullish. We're still patiently waiting for confirmations, but I'll tell you this. Once price does get back above this level, breaks into this trend line, it's on. It's on. It is on. I expect a big move. Just like we had a big drop, I expect a big move up. I want to give a shout out one more time to Joe over at Trade Intuition. Awesome guy, man. Awesome teacher. He can explain this stuff so amazing. I'm excited to see where he goes in the space. He's a real dude, and he just he lays it out for you. Just, and his charts, man, I envy his charts, man. Here's an example. When I see his charts and how he explains things and just spells things out, and then I look over and I compare it to mine, I feel like mine just kind of look like something like this. I feel like they just look something like this. And his are all just so neat and tiny and professional. I want to show you an example. But I want to give a shout out to him. Let's see, chart room over here on our and trade setups. I mean, I moved it over here so people could see it, man. Look, this is Joe's work. Beautiful, beautiful. Spells it out. I've seen him just do some amazing work to help teach this space. Awesome guy. Oops. Want to give a shout out to him, because if you're looking to learn this, that's also a good source, and I hope you hang around with me because I try to explain things and what I'm doing. But I was talking with him today, and we were talking about some things. It's cool when you get with somebody, because we've never had these conversations before, even though we're in the same trading group. He was an admin and a teacher over there, which gives him a lot of credibility in this space. So I'm looking for a lot of things, but we're talking in some messages today and just kind of talking about a few little things. But we got moving about moving averages, and a lot of people teach them as that they're a magnet. Like the 21 is this a magnet price is going to come back to it, and you know that's kind of a little bit. It's not really the best way to think about it. But right before the stream, it led me just kind of going over something that I really hadn't really plotted out. And I want to run this idea for you because it could be a signal of a future drop for Bitcoin, and I think it's worth talking about. So let's come back over here. We're talking about what these moving averages really are, right? All this means, if we're on the daily chart here, great one to look at, right? On my noisy Bitcoin chart over here. Like the 200, one of the most important ones that you can put. Now there's extra ones that you can add. A lot of people use the 800. It's kind of the equivalent of looking a few time frames ahead, really, if you want to narrow it down that way. But all this means, the 200 moving average, all it means that this is the average price for the last 200 candles, right? That's all it means. It means for this segment, if you take this little measure tool and you go back 200 bars. What it means is that it reflects, I got 97, but close enough. This point right here reflects the average price that we've had for this whole move up to this point. If you take the highs and the lows and everything and where it was, they average it out and put it right here smack at 34. That's what it is. And that's just understanding and what they are. But that led me to think about something that I really hadn't considered before, and I think it's worth talking about. And I want to do this on the smaller time frames because it got my curiosity. Peaking. Well, why don't we look at some big drops and let's apply a little moving average theory. Look, we came up here, right? We were all excited. Moon boys were saying, we're getting ready to go to 58,000. Woo, bear flag, bull flag. We're going to ride it. They're drawing all these to the upside. Yes. 50,000. But that didn't happen. It failed. Why did it fall? Well, the 9 crossed over the 21. That was a good indicator something was going to happen. I use a 5 moving average strategy, and for those that just follow the 21, I think they miss a little bit of extra information that could clue you in on when to get the hell out of the market. But let's look at this 200 moving average here, right? Let's pull out our tool. This drop, let's front run it right here, right before the drop. Let's go up 200 candles. 200, right around the 200. I'm at 194 there. What happened? Well, it dropped here. We got 200 candles, moving averages here. Could you find a drop, go 200 candles ahead, and maybe catch a predictor of another drop? That's not ideal. Worth back testing. I think I'm going to look into that a little bit closer. Try it again. We got this drop. Let's front run it just a little bit. I don't want to get right in the mid drop. See if we can get some earlier information. 200 candles from that would bring us to where? Oh, I've already measured it out. Right around Valentine's Day. That scenario can fit into this rejection of this trend line and to the downside. That's why I'm bringing this up. This could be a failed pattern. This might be something to look at. You got to do a little bit more back testing, but why wouldn't mathematically? I mean, that's how they work, man. So, and now we see we're on the downcline, so we're getting the effect of what happened over here already. Will there be more downcline for this? Just an interesting concept. What about when it pumped? Can we go 200 candles from a pump and see if we got something else? It might be a little bit different, but we'll try. What we got? Oh, this is 200 right here. That was right before a little droppy drop. Like I said, idea that needs to be back tested a little bit, but there might be something there worth looking at. You would think that it would play the same 4 pumps. I'm not seeing that, but there was a little confidence there. Like I said, it's too early. It's just something I was looking at. But you know, it's kind of cool when you're kind of shedding ideas with other people that, you know, see how they look at things. And that wasn't what we discussed or anything, but it just got me to thinking. I want to try out some new ideas, and it's always worth experimenting and seeing what happens. But right now, let's look at the smaller time frames here. Let's just go down to the 15-minute and get some ideas about where we are right now. 15 minutes suggests that things are looking pretty nice. We are getting rejected at this area, 43,650-ish, but she might continue to push on up there. Let's hope that happens. We got this trend line right here on the smaller time frame that it broke above, putting us back into a, I guess what would be overly a possible bearish type pattern, which could be a very bullish sign for more, maybe even a quicker move up here to around 44,000. Let's see if we got that. So things are starting to look up, but we just want to confirm that it's real. We're looking for a confirmation first of an inverted head and shoulders pattern, and we got to see it get up a little higher, make a higher high than over here for one thing, and maintain these levels. And even then, it's not a guarantee that it wouldn't pull back before it goes up. And even then, when they do break out big, there is always, off the top of my head, Thomas Bukowski, patternsight.com would have these exact thing, but it's somewhere around a 60 to 64% chance that it comes back to retest this very breakout area. So keep that in mind. Maybe we go to 48 and fall back to 43. Opportunities there on those possible retest of these major patterns. Things I wanted to show out there for you. Guys, thank you for hanging out with me. That was the major thing that I wanted to give an update for that, because the market's looking a little bit interesting today. But we don't want to get tricked, because they're very good at tricking us. So I just want to give out some points out there I don't know that a lot of people are looking at. So just a few little things to keep your eyes on. Of course, it's always helpful to look at our indices. We got to keep track of Bitcoin dominance over here, which is losing a trend line. That's good. Bitcoin dominance comes down. And especially if Bitcoin can just trade sideways like over this weekend, like usually does on the weekends, right? Usually. Might see a nice move out of our altcoins. This is total 3 over here on the daily, or the 4 hour rather. And, you know, we broke this major trend line and come down and found some support and been trying to, you know, doing a channel basically. It's got a, you know, a little bit of an area there, but straighten up my trend lines here, get my angles. I'm big on angles. WD Gann, one of the greatest traders ever, took some of the secrets to the, he nailed this market. He took those secrets to the grave, but he was one. But there's a lot of truth in the information that is out there. He is very big on these angles, man. The only man that I know that could put price and time, square it, tell you what day it would hit a certain level. It's amazing to study his biography and everything, but sadly, no one else has cracked that code like he has. Lots of different ways you can look at this. There might be a possible, I'm not calling it that, unless you want to, it's not solid to me. Maybe if you cheat a little bit, you can make a neckline there from here to there, and maybe it's got to confirm. If it does, you know, same situation with Bitcoin. This one's slanted down a little bit. That's give us a little bit, you know, more hope, because when you zoom out on these patterns, you know, you can see the real pattern, which is a channel slanted downward, and that's typically bullish, about a 70% chance that it will break to the upside. Also, these downward megaphone patterns, which this technically could be. Also 70% chance for those to break to the upside, according to Thomas Bukowski, which is the GOAT, retired in his 30s, software engineer nerd, got into trading, started writing algorithms in it, started doing pattern trading, and he went through and did all the math on all this stuff. So shout out Thomas Bukowski. If you follow my channel, you know this is my textbook. Now, I'm not the best read up on it. I mean, I don't know this back and forward. This is the best place, in my personal opinion, to learn how to do this. He goes over every pattern. He's broke it down. You hear this pattern breaks up 68% of the time. Some of them do. The only sad thing is, some of the pattern traders out there don't know what the true percentage is for the other ones. They just say everything is 68% of the time. Listen for that. So I like, on my channel, and one of the differences I'm trying to make in this space is just give you solid resources to verify what I'm telling you. Or even if I get it wrong, you go, listen, right there on here, he did not say 64, he said 62%. Road dog. Fair enough. I'll take that. Shows me that you're studying, you're learning, and you're going to change your freaking life by learning some very simple things. Which leads me to one other thing I want to talk about. If there's any of you guys that are trying to learn all this stuff, over on my website, I started out as a educational channel. I still consider myself, but I did lay out everything in videos, chart schools, got them numbered. If you're totally new to this and want to try to figure this out, man, just follow them. I'll teach you the basics right there. Watching the streams, me and other people like especially Joe over here on Trade Intuition, all this stuff will start clicking and making sense, and it's free, totally free. Just a little curriculum you can follow right there, man. All right, let's take a look at some altcoins now, because Total 3 is starting to look a little bit juicy. I bored a lot of people on this. I lost some people, but things that needed to be said today about this market. Let's get into the juicy stuff they're gonna miss because they left. Gosh darn it. Dymension. Yeah, did you guys get that airdrop? We talked about the airdrop a lot. How to get it. Staking 1 TIA would have got you about $4,000. I believe that's right on this one, right? Or maybe half of that. I got lucky on this airdrop. But staking 1 TIA would have qualified you for, I believe, this airdrop. Staking Atom. Staking Osmosis, I believe injective. Those are all good ones to stake. I'm doing a horizontal line here because I got candle bodies. I got a candle wick telling me that was resistance, which now could be support. We're testing it really hard right now. Might it break down? If it does, then expect TIA to go on sale, possibly to the bottom of the pattern, because that's usually what happens. I'm here on the 15-minute time frame because this is all we got on it. Notice that we did break this trend line. It's not a death sentence yet. It could actually be part of a much bigger move. We just don't know at this point. What we do know at this point is that we're struggling with this area with TIA. Where are you, price label? I need you. I need you, price label. Finds me. And that area, I'm going to write it to orange for neutral or caution. Now, what I will say that's going on is that this 9 moving average is dangerously close to crossing over that 21, which would instinctively lead us to start targeting the 50 moving average, because it usually plays out that way. Doesn't mean it just comes down and nails it. I mean, it's an area. You got to treat this as an area. This one starts failing, I immediately start looking at the 100. But a lot of times you will see price, when it loses a 21, it'll come down to the 50 before it bounces and continues on its upward trend, regaining both the 21 moving average and the 9. That's what we want to see. Question is, will it happen? Well, I can't tell you that because I can't see into the future. I can only go by probabilities of a system that works very accurate for me and a lot of other people that use it. We can also grab a Fibonacci, grab that swing low to swing low to swing high, and we can target the 50% area, which by Dow theory, Charles Dow says when we get a strong impulse move, there's a likelihood for a correction to come back to the halfway mark. That's also lining up with 50 moving average. That's two things telling me right here that, hey, 566 might be a good place to nibble. Should you go place a limit order there? It depends on your trading style. I don't know. Honestly, sometimes I'll play it that way. Does that save me if price comes down to the 618, which it could very well do, 551? No, but the way I play it, if I'm seriously trying to do like a swing trade, I start pyramiding. A little nibble here, a bigger nibble here, a much bigger nibble here. And if she starts breaking this trend line, I start thinking about not nibbling at all, getting out. Trend line's not as solid over here. Watch that, I gotta correct that. Oh, road, I just got picky. Yeah, those angles are important, man. Body to body, I want to be there. How important are they? Watch this. Defines the channel. Woohoo! Look at that. I got to put it technically up here by that wick, but look at the confluence just from this wick to where we were. Look at the confluence from this wick to where it topped out of. This angle is important. That's why I want to be accurate with my trend lines. I don't want to be sloppy with them. You just have to watch out when you go to different time frames. It doesn't always match up. It just is perfect. So adjust it for whatever time frame that you're actually trading to be more accurate, in my personal opinion. Is this the cup and handle? I don't know. It's really too early to tell. That pattern really plays out best over a long period of time. And, you know, I have a few issues with that pattern and the way that's presented. Tell me, could it be, or could it be some kind of flag? Because a lot of what people call cup and handles are really more, and they play them just like a bull flag. So, which is it? The general rule is it's a very nice rounded shape of accumulation that occurs over time. But it might be on a smaller time frame. Measure move for a cup and handle is taken differently according to Thomas Bukowski. You would measure lip to lip and then put that up at the lip, and that would give you a target right up here to $7.02, which I'm not going to argue with that. I like that. It's coming in at a fib level that I've got, a little cheap fib level I got up there. So maybe if it is, it played it right. It did not come, the handle part did not come back below 2/3 of the way down, because when it does that, it becomes invalid. No longer cup and handle. That is not stressed enough. And that's when you start seeing things fall down, and it comes, your cup and handle turned into a double bottom or worse. What happened? Didn't follow the rules, man. Exit certain parameters like this 66%, 2/3 of the way down. It's invalidated. Trade over. Not happening. This one is not. It's actually finding support of this area. Possibility. Maybe it is a cup and handle. Let's see. They're not confirmed until they break out above the neckline. The neckline. This one retesting it, so it's technically in limbo right now. With a possibility to still make it. Well, look. If not, these are some great areas to buy. So areas of resistance will, of course, be the top of this channel. Wherever those candles happen to line up and touch it, move it accordingly to your trend line. Which is not really an official trend line because it only has one, maybe two touches. I don't know. You could call that. It's a sloppy trend line, just to be honest. If I were just drawing it, I wouldn't draw it that way. I would be connecting. I would actually be drawing this, but I've learned to respect those angles, so instead of having a narrowing, possible rising channel, wedge maybe, I respect the trend. Just ideas to keep up. This will also be an area that it will contend with. For anyone just kind of curious to know, that's about $6.37. I'm not going to leave that on there as a target, but just keep that in mind. Dymension. If you got the airdrop, man, you're blessed. If you didn't, you need to get in that Cosmos ecosystem, man. Start staking, start using osmosis, play around with these protocols. It's a growing ecosystem that is, this was the dark horse is starting to come to the forefront, man. They got the best reputation of developers. They're really doing a lot of stuff. I'm seeing them. I'm seeing them possibly move in on Solana, is my personal opinion. But we'll just have to wait and see. Interoperability is the game, but they're already hooking up with Solana. Did you know that? Yeah, they're that cool. All right, so another one we looked at, I think last night, Cartesi. Still on a nice run here. Cartesi. Let's see what we got. Did we chart it here? Where did we chart it? Let me zoom out. She's had a great day today. What do we got here? Why would I do this in all blue? I don't think this is my most recent chart. I wouldn't have done it there. Oh, well. Interesting. Okay, you can see we were looking at this for quite a while. Double bottom. I'm going to erase all this because this is old information here. This is from way back. Cartesi. I guess we have to do it all over again. Look, this is an area. Double bottoms. Nice, rounded double bottoms. They're just magical. They're beautiful. They're lovely. Because they lead to things getting very excited in this market. From here, to me, every time I see these, man, I can't help but, and especially if I draw them in yellow, they look like Bart Simpson's butt crack. So this is just one way of putting this in your head where you'll never forget it. Hopefully. Price should be coming up to retest this area right here. I'm just a wee bit above. So about 36.5 cents, right? That's what we're working on. Once we get above, once we get there, that gives us a very nice juicy measure move, a target to the upside. Could be some big gains out of Cartesi as it leaves this area of accumulation, officially heads into a bullish run of higher highs and higher lows. The next target being 62 cents for Cartesi. He likes it. He's looking bullish in my personal opinions. This is all based on price action right here. Let's see if we got some confluence in our Fibonacci numbers. Full fib from this swing high all the way down to the swing low. I'll let you know that right here was the juiciest accumulation levels, around 19 cents and under. Getting in there, man, you were the smart duck in your pond. But yet, it's not too late, because when you look out the bigger picture of this whole move we got here, from the very top all the way to the bottom, overall, for its overall performance, we're still technically in a good accumulation area, all the way up to 40 to 48 cents, technically. And once we do get past that, we expect some bigger moves up to about, $1.10 or more. Well, it's got some legs on it. But to keep it just a little bit more realistic about where we are right now, we want to stick with this guy right here. And we want to focus on this next little area. Oh, look, a little confluence at that 618 area, 37 cents right through there. That's going to be the trying part. That's going to be where the rubber meets the road. You got to get above it. If you're not, you're most likely to range back into this area about 26 cents, and not as fun as watching it go up to 62 cents. Just saying, throwing that out there. So that's what I'm seeing for Cartesi in a nutshell. There are some other targets we can put on there higher, but let's see how she does first. She's still got little things to prove for it herself, but everything's looking juicy here. I likes it. Nice rounding shape going up there. You could even do that. We're getting a widening, broadening pattern, which is, is normally a bearish pattern, but when you see that on a nice rounded shape, they're known to break parabolically to the upside. Wow, crazy. Or even if they get rejected here, a lot of times you'll see them wedge, make some kind of falling wedge, and then break to the upside. So either way, this one is getting set up over these next few months to do some very big things. I like the chart for Cartesi, looking very juicy, and having a nice little run up today. Look at those moving average, how beautiful do they look. Now they're starting to span out, so there should be some resistance coming soon. It looks like she's about on her fifth wave. I guess if we asked Mr. Elliott Wave Indicator, will you find it? Yeah, he agrees. Look at that. Elliott, sometimes we don't always agree. It's suggesting that maybe from here we get rejected and come down to 28 cents, 29 cents. But I'm saying, hey, there still might be a little bit more moving there, maybe. On up to this resistance area around 32 cents. Just keep your eyes on it. There's some bearish divergence forming. So it's not the time to jump in on Cartesi, but it's time to look at where you might want to jump in and plan ahead for a pullback. And on this particular time frame, the juicy area for that pullback will, of course, be right here in this area, somewhere around 26 cents. Maybe even down. Indicators are suggesting 200 moving average down here. Maybe we'll come back and touch that one. Joe was talking about, you might have heard me say this on the stream before too, about the moving averages. Is this, he looks at more like people. Yeah, I think family. It resonated with what I said because sometimes I call this like the grandma. And Price, you got the unruly little kids running around at the family reunion. Sometimes they'll come back and talk to mommy and daddy here at the 50. Sometimes, they get in trouble. They got to come back and talk to grandpa, and at worse, if that didn't help, come or to an uncle or something. And then at worst, come back and they always got to come back and talk to granny. Granny got to straighten them out, set them on the right path. So it's just kind of cool when you bounce off the other and see how other people interpret what they learn and what they teach, and then when you find that they it's just cool, man. It's just cool to see that confluence. You're on the right path. It's just cool. Here's one we also looked at here. I actually FOMO'd into this little thing live on stream because I saw the charts and I loved it. I liked what I saw. ARKM. Yeah. She's up to 58 cents right now. She's been here before. I can't recall from this small time frame where I jumped in. Of course, this is Binance. I did. I have to look, but I got in really good when I saw what was going on. I think it was this. Yeah, I think it was right around here in this when I saw the spring of the trap. But I had to look that up. Somehow I thought I got okay. Anyway, I like this one. I think this one's got lots of potential. It's like one of those. Ethically, I don't know if I agree with it because it was about they go through. They're exposing blockchains. They're a snoop thing. Think of Palantir on blockchain, and I think you might have something similar to what this is, but it's like data intelligence in a way. But they track down many of criminals' wallets with their analytics. It's going to be a big thing in Web3, so I'm in it. May not agree with everything, but I'm here to make that money, and I believe that this is going to do it. AXL is also another one. Check out another one on Cosmos ecosystem. Alexar. Let's see if we can get you over here. Oh, you're on Coinbase? I'm sure that helped. How far does that go back? You've been there for a while. Okay. Looks like we've been using the Coinbase chart. So we were looking at this guy. Followed him closely, and he came up here, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of iffy. It's in a triangle, whatever. Did not come back to 65 cents. That was a possibility at that particular time. That's a kind of a bigger one. Did come back to this. Where is that? 94 cent area. It's kind of really where we are now. I'm looking at the 50 moving averages. Because it's kind of like what I said. How did it play out? I was like, well, if we lose this, we'll probably come back to the 50 moving average and test it. Did we? Yeah, we dropped right down to it and even lost it, retesting it. And then all the other ones came back in pursuit. Mommy, he's not playing fair. Make him straighten up. There might be a cross, but you know, the second place to look was the 100 moving average. And even though we tagged it down here as a possibility, you have to follow price when you're using this. It's still in play. The next place down is the 100 moving average. It's just that now it's changed. Now it's up here at the, I believe that is probably a fib level that I've marked out before. So maybe it makes me want to look at it more. One other thing that we can do, now we got a little bit more information. Pull a Fibonacci swing low to swing high there. And now this is interesting. See how we're catching at, from this low to that high, how we're catching at the 618, making a W pattern. May not come down here at all. Or maybe all it needs. No guarantees it's going to come down to the 100. When we start getting down, it's a little shaky to predict that it's going to come to a 100. Then it would nail it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And that's when the fibs come in to help you make that decision. And I believe they're trying to tell us right now, we're trying to find our support here. And when you put that together with a bigger picture, oh baby, it starts getting looking a little juicy. You want to see it? You want to see where it could go? Do you really? For real? I can show you several different ways to do that. Even if you don't feel comfortable with fibs, this actual measured move has a dang good chance. I'm going to switch these targets up. We got new information, baby. That's how you got to trade. You're always switching up, taking in what the market gives you, using the tools in your toolbox to figure out where it has a probability to go next. And sometimes that changes a little. Well, first we're kind of guesstimating. We don't know for sure. Now we got some more data. Now that we extend this line, and it counts as a breakout. Not much volume though, so I'm not sold on that. We got some place to put that, a little bit more accuracy. It says that $1.57 could come into play there. I like that idea. Or $1.60 rather. What else can we do here? Well, I'm glad you asked. Do swing low to swing high to swing low. I'm looking for this 127 area, 442. That's a little trick I like to use. Of course, our 1618 comes up and gives us confidence for this other area, which I still think that 160 has a good shot of hitting. What else can we do, Road Dog? Well, I'm looking at this in the Ellie Wave perspective, and I think this could be 1, 2, 3, 4. This did not go or touch this high, so that makes that kind of valid. I would have expected this one to maybe done a little bit better. Let's see. Did you meet my expectation? You did from here. Okay, so we start from here, right here, 1, 2. Third wave should go up to the 161.8 on the fib extension, and then we can work on the wave 5. If this is a wave 5, then we may be double topping. You got to throw that out there. This 1618 may not get past But if it does, we can look for the other areas. The 2618 right over here, confluence for that 160. As a reminder, I am not an LE wave trader. It is not my go-to, but I do find that it's playing out pretty well right now to help kind of guide us. So those are some areas to look at, in my personal opinion, for the swing trader. If you're in this for the long haul, this baby's got legs. You can do some damage over time. Come over to the chat real quick, man. See how everybody's doing. DP, Haven, how's it going, man? Mavia, when should I take profit, possibly? Let's see what that is. Heroes of Mavia. Jeez. When should you take profit? That's a good time. Possibly. Let's see. Oh, we stretch this to the wicks. We still haven't broke that trend line. I would let this be your line in the sand. Break below it. It's time to move on. For right now, you can always get back in, but expect it to come back down. Different ways you can look at this. I mean, some people will look at it as a kind of a ascending triangle. Could be, but you know me, I'm always going to start with the channel because I likes it. See where it has the most support, where it might make sense. I mean, I know we got all this. I mean, it can still hold weight. Look, from this blue line to that blue line, it made them touch the perfect angle. So there's something there. But let's put it over here. We got this, got that candle top, got that. That looks good and solid to me. Even though we got some wicks above it and stuff, it's a little bit off. But overall, a general gist that could possibly bring us right down here to this area, which would suck. 267 to ride that down. So it is, now we're on the 15-minute time frame. Keep that in mind. The middle of the Ichimoku cloud is usually not a good thing, kind of like sucks you in and often spits you down lower. So yeah, I would say a confirmed candle below this trend line would be a good exit strategy. On the other side, things to look out for if she's getting bullish right now. The 9 has not crossed over the 50, so not official, technically. That means that they could recover and the 9 could turn around and, you know, we could just bounce off this area and start going to the highs. So line in the sand strategy is pretty much what I'd use. This wick down here, if it makes a lower wick than that, out. For me, that's what I would do. That would be my final confirmation. If I drew a line right there and it broke below, it made a lower low, and it's not staying above this trend line. Those are two signs saying, However, my Ichimoku cloud is whispering in my ear, saying, I'm feeling a little bullish. I'm feeling a little bullish. So keep that in mind. How are you looking on the smaller time frames? It is crazy. We got to come down to the smaller time frames to get an idea, right? Because we have so little to go on. But even the 1 minute looks like it's finding support here at this trend line. And but yet still not that. I need that 9 to cross over that 21 to kind of make me feel a lot safer about it going up, though. I will say this Ichimoku cloud's thickening up. There's some signs saying that, yeah, we can bounce here. We could. So do look for that. Do look for that. Honestly, it would be lower than this at 3.57. If we dip down below that, that's where I would have a stop loss because it's probably going further south. But right now, looks like she wants to bounce off of this. And if she does, you know what that means. We got to go back up to the top of that pattern or try to. Might get stopped out here. You know, we got some resistance over in these areas. It's not very well defined, but it's there. But if that doesn't hold us down, then man, 462 or higher. Just following the trend line. What else we got here? Not much to work with. Elliot is perplexed. He can't figure it out either. Imagine this, I mean, technically, yeah, I think it'd be true. if we're just starting out price action and you do believe in Elliott waves, I believe three humps in the dump. You see that a lot. Or 3 dumps in the pump. But this may be the first leg up for a much bigger move. You might see a lot out of this. I don't even know what this is, but there's chances. Hope that helped. Hope that helped make some sense. NVM's in price discovery. Let's take a look at it. NVM. Okay, that's not showing up for me. I missed it somehow. Oh, there's more chat. I missed. Where am I way behind the times here? Dave P says, how do we check on the Dymension airdrop? Dave P, I've got an answer for you. Over in my airdrop section, let's do this. Guys, if you use Telegram and you don't have folders, you are probably just as confused as I used to be. Just looking at oh my gosh, just looking at all this crap and just showing up in spam and junk and all that stuff. Going into settings, setting up folders allows you to put certain chats into certain things, certain areas. So I got Road Dog folder with all my little chat rooms there. The main ones that count are the lounge and the chart room. Those are the 2 ones. This one's just, I don't ever post anything there. This one was my very first one. It's not, these aren't really active. Those 2. The lounge is where all the cool kids hang out. The chart room is divided up into sections because I didn't know you could do that at the time. Hence, so I have 2 with a lot. So down here in airdrops, I posted a link that will keep you up to date on Cosmos ecosystem airdrops, which Dymension was one. And also Leap Wallet is awesome. You can hook it up with your Capital Wallet or whatever, but they keep up with all the airdrops for you. So I'm a big fan of Leap Wallet. You can just link it up with all your other Cosmos wallets if you have multiple ones and just use it. It's easy to use. It's kind of cool feature on it. So over here in airdrop section, there's airdrops.io. So you can just type it in now, but I do have a link over there. It's a cool site. That's not the cool site I'm looking for. That's a cool site. Let's got it here. So you can do that one too. It's not the one I usually use though. So you get, I need to stake my Dymension. Oh, there's going to be another airdrop for Dymension too, right? Here's some alpha. Dymension's airdropped a total of 70 million Dymension to Ethereum Layer 2's Cosmos, Celestia, Solana, and various NFT holders. Users who qualified could claim the airdrop until 21st of 2024. So the claiming time for getting it has expired. That's why I was pushing for it so hard in our group, getting that information out there. But it looks like if you do have Dymension and you stake it, you'll qualify for the next one. Now, I do not know anything about when that will be. They'll take a snapshot. So some information on that is there, but they give you the links to go do it, and maybe they took it down. It may not be active, but the official airdrop is over. It just now started showing up in our wallets, I think. I finally found mine. Because you had to send it to an Ethereum address, right? And I sent it to one that I use for my Cosmos wallet. Don't really technically have one there, but it does, you know. So it was like, I just had to wait till it showed up. And it finally showed up. So, and man, wow. I thought Uniswap was a birthday present. Dymension is like awesome. So now seeing that I need to go stake it. That's what I'm going to do because I work the Cosmos ecosystem and it will pay you handsomely. Sure, I might keep a little bit out just to kind of, you know, make a taxable event. Keep my government happy. But I really like to play the system because it just turns into a lot more, man. I'm telling you, Cosmos ecosystem just multiplies. Come over and check out the chat one more time here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Sorry, I didn't see these comments before. DP. Oh my God. Oh, she's still on there. I'm sorry. I left her on there. I do that. I see no trend lines. I see only curves. Love the curves. I know. Those rounded bottoms will change your life if you know how to find them and how to play them. I'm just saying. So Sperax, we were looking at that. She looked kind of interesting. She went on a tear, but let's Let's see if she's coming down to our buy zone yet. I gotta zoom out. Did she? She got one of them. I didn't draw a line. I'm disappointed in myself. I didn't really spell it out. I got some, I'm assuming though, I got some valid points over here without a line drawn. Looks like they got hit. The two beginning targets got hit there. Let's narrow this one down now. We got more information. So this one's been on a tear and it's got some possibilities, and she's been, I mean, look. From 0.006 cents to 0.015 is where she just ran. We were talking about it over here, remember? Yeah. So congratulations if you got in on this little guy, because that's a 137% move. I'm sure he went over. My target was 13.4. Road Dog, you suck. You didn't nail it. You took profits there. You would have nailed it. I'm just saying. Doesn't mean you have to sell there. Keep watching the market. Or even if you said limit order there, you made some profit. I don't know, for me, I mean, I know you're like, well, what can we do to catch the top? Can we refine our system? Always looking for ways to refine it. Always. But I'm happy with 105% gains taking that. I did not take that one, I don't believe. No, I did not. Hey, man, you can only be in so many coins and manage so many trades. I'm just saying. It's a little harder when you do the YouTube and streaming thing, because, yeah, I mean, this takes away, but it's kind of, you know, on par with, you know, having a 9-to-5 job too, although not really 9 to 5. Thank you, Lord. But I mean, some distractions to keep you out of it. Fibonacci finding support here on the 21 moving average and also the 618 could be a nice little move. A lot of times you will see this one go up to the. Do I have my right fib up there? No, I don't. I got my cheap fib up there. But it should take us right up there to that little area. Right up here. My cheap fibs get us in the general area. I call it a cheap fib because it works nicely, and especially in a pinch, but the real way to do it would be to pull swing low to swing high. For that upward minute, and then I would be looking at the 1414. So I'm gonna do that. We'll see which one plays out. This is the real one. This is my cheater. What can we do for the cheater? Color it white. Lets me know it's not real. And but this is this should actually go to a 1414, and that is coming right here. So the official. We'll see how they play out. That's how you get better, in my opinion. Test yourself. Test your strategies. So I like what I'm seeing here. Possible move up from here. Not yet confirmed. We're just sitting on a 618 Fibonacci. It just means we can. I'm not seeing the official signs other than the bounce off the 100 moving average. That's kind of cool. Stay above the 9. Start gaining some ground. See this slowly play out. It's not going to be immediate, I don't believe. Usually never is. Remember, we did break a trend line. That's kind of big. Is there a measure move from that? Quick measure move, go from there. Gives us a fairly decent idea. It's not going to be too accurate. These don't always meet 100% of that measure move. There's some confluence down here in this area. So there's something to take in. I got 3 signs saying that 0.00759 could hit. This is kind of like putting all your information on a scale. If you got more things saying downside than you do upside, kind of leans us that way. More things saying upside than downside kind of leans me that way. That's how I play this market, and that's how it works. The more confluence I get to say the price is going in one direction, the more I lean there. And we can definitely see this happen. But she's showing the first signs of wanting to turn back around, so it's worth noting right here at the 618. If this level holds, I expect that bigger target right up here, about 1.75 cents, and that can be a nice 75% gain. Throw in $100 and you get 175 out. Throw in 1,000, get an extra 750 out if that plays out. If we come down here, I'm still looking at that target overall. Around there, yeah, I still am. And that would be 125% gains. So Sperax, she's been on the move, getting a pullback. If Bitcoin continues upward, or even just sideways over the weekend, and Bitcoin dominance continues downward, for altcoins are going to be moving to retest this $505 billion area, then we can see some definitely nice pumps up to the next level. Other one we're looking at, we looked at ENS. And she's also getting a pullback. Look at that. Is never a guarantee. But it is so cool when that Fibonacci nails it. Yeah. I'm not bragging on my skills. I'm bragging on the TA. Respect the TA. Respect the chart. If you listen to the chart will speak to you. Sometimes it speaks in voices. They do to me anyway. Measure move from here. An Adam and Eve-ish pattern confirmed. A double bottom pattern with the measure move up to 24.93 where it went. That's just worth celebrating. I'm sorry. That's odd. So here's the dealio. Whether you use my strategy, which what I would be doing was be, I look for a lot of these things early, and I like to get in at these levels. I look for those signs, especially this little bridgey thing here, this type of double bottom here. I call it a bridge. It does kind of a scallop and then comes up. I love those. Those are awesome. They look like little old bridges. I don't know what the official thing is. It's some kind of double bottom. It works. It's a nice bombing pattern. I like those. It looks like, oh, we're getting a bearish retest and going out. And then we did what? Bear trap. In pattern trading, I have learned that those bear traps, when they break back into the pattern, is probably one of the safest times, not financial advice, to just go hard, go heavy, because number going to explode, go up. Love me a bear trap. Love it when a pattern breaks out. It gets everybody freaked out because we're going down. We broke there was my line in the sand. True. And if you played that card getting out here, that's a smart move. It is. You can't. But if you're smart enough to make that move, you're also smart enough to know, hey man, either, oh, this looks like it could be doing something that's a little risky, or getting back in here just a little bit higher and then making the real profits. That would be your jump out, jump back in. A lot of traders do that. Hodlers don't really do that. Bag holders don't really do that. If you're really watching the market, looking for it, yeah. Setting alerts help you do that. But amazing measure move hit right there, 24.93. Now we got a pullback. Now we had this neckline. It just makes it's going to come back and retest that neckline. It's what it usually does, unless it wants to just come back almost halfway. Ichimoku cloud. That's why I like the cloud. Kind of tells me, nah. We're probably going down more. Probably going back down more. So Ethereum name service, which can get on up there in price, maybe coming back down to around this $20 area, maybe $20.50. My neckline ain't perfect here. Oh, according to this, you put it right up. See, it's always worth going back and just kind of refinessing things. That's a toppy top. That's a toppy top. There's a wick right here, meaning that was, whoop, move it right there, meaning that, well, it was resistance there. That lines up even more. Tighten up your game. And now I see that, well, we did bounce off that. We already did our retest. Well, may not be coming down here. And that's how easy forecast can change. Just tightening up your game a little bit. It is still true. So if we lose this 50 moving average and lose that 9 again, they might dip back in this pattern. I don't want to see that. I don't like them when they break back into the patterns. We do have this trend line that it also flipped, and it could. That would be a little bit more of a bearish scenario. Maybe it comes back and does something like that. One way you could look at that is Elliott Wave again. Well, AB, I don't know. That was this. However you want to look at it, whether this was 3 and a 5, which shouldn't be. AB, or I mean 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever. Well, this could be an A, B, C correction coming to the downside. But what do you say, Elliott? What's your input? Oh, he's bearish as all get out. Look at that. He gone for $17.18. Shut your mouth, Elliott. No, maybe moving averages say that we're kind of in the right trend on the 1 hour. Shut your mouth, Elliott. Who told you to? I didn't I? I'm sorry. My bad. But, he also says that it's possible downside. Keep that in mind. ENS might get it at a better price, but overall, this major trend line is showing support. It is likely to come down. It is to retest it. It broke back in and it's got to set its foot back on it and make sure it's on solid ground. And that, in my personal opinion, would be the juiciest buy for ENS to get into it and ride it to some highs, because where has it been before? Ethereum name service. This is DNS, like your IP addresses for, but basically like an Ethereum NFT. A lot of other chains are doing this too. Ethereum has the first mover advantage. I mean, look, it got up as high as $118. We're sitting here at 24. Ups. And yet overall, technically, getting it below $33 is still a bargain. And right here for where we are currently, we're testing this area of accumulation. We're trying to break out of accumulation right now. So by this strategy that I use to identify accumulation levels, that's kind of the upper limits of our lower accumulation, mostly. The way down here was the juicy areas to get in for accumulation. Using this fib strategy would have helped you kind of nail that area. Just saying. Add the tools to your toolbox if they help. I think that one's a good one to add. That's why I'm sharing it with you. But what we got to look out for is that when we are below that 236 Fibonacci area in accumulation, like we're doing here, if we don't break up and hold it, well, we could come back down and we could do another one of those nice, juicy double bottom patterns, and it may take it a while. How long did it go over here? I mean, that wouldn't be fun, would it? To spend, I don't know, how many of that, 86 weeks in accumulation again? Nah, that's not fun. I mean, there'll be ups and downs, but I don't want to ride that ride. I like the ones that go up. I don't like the ones that go down. So that's what we're watching for right here. On the bigger picture. And right now, it looks like she's got a chance to make it up there and reclaim that ground and go to the upside. Let's hope for that. Keep our eyes out for that. Ethereum name service, those are the hot coins that I see. Some of them are, getting pullbacks, but they're doing some frisky things. Altcoins are starting to look a little juicy right now. I wouldn't get too overly bullish until we start seeing some more confirmation, though, because we're coming close to a weekend. We know how they like to play that game. I'm not seeing the most solid things for just a big breakup, but we're working on it. My personal opinion is probably going to take us a few more weeks to kind of get there, to get through some of this chop, but we're slowly making some progress here. Overall, this is set up for a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, another big move up, at least to 536, possibly up to $584 billion coming into the crypto market, driving your bags higher, my bags higher. And the thing we got to get in our heads when we start seeing that, when it gets all bullish, is when I need to start buying stablecoin with crypto. Yes, I need to start putting my crypto into stablecoin. Taking profits. It's hard to do sometimes. Dave P says Kaspa. Okay, let's take a look at Kaspa. She's doing a little bit better today, I think, right? How's my little miner doing? I got the little hobby miner over there. Is this you? I'm up to 33.8 Kaspa. Still haven't found a block on my own miner, so if I solo mining, I'd be sitting here at 0, so I figured I'd get a feel for it before I try to switch over to solo mining. Looks like I'm averaging about 14 coins a day over there. Not very much. They got some other miners coming out and everything. The fear is that the rewards are just going to start going down a lot with all the big ASIC miners that are now starting to flow out, kind of going to saturate the market. So is it a great time to get a Kaspa mine? Not unless you're a hobby, but hobby Probably not the best time. The early movers got the biggest advantage, but the miners are cheaper now. I paid like $4.50 for mine. I think they're $3.89 now. They're getting cheaper. It's a cool little miner. I like it. But if nothing else, from a hobby miner perspective, I mean, you still might be interested. If nothing else, I mean, you're paying electricity, and as long as your electricity costs are cheaper than Kaspa price, you got a chance to make back your money and make a lot of profit, or profit more money than you had before. It's a money printing machine. If you think it's a coin printing machine. Sorry, IRS, I didn't mean to say money. I didn't mean to call this money. We know that this is not money. No way is this money. So they say. It's a commodity producer. It's like an orange tree in an orange grove without a security contract. It's like a chicken that lays eggs. And I like eggs. Named Kaspa. Kaspa, we got here in this falling channel. I got a mixed match of all stuff. This is the biggest thing I was looking at right here, right? This trend line, that trend line, that trend line, that big broad end pattern. It's so fun to trade when you bounce off the one wall and go to the other. She went parabolic up here to 15 cents, and now the sad thing is we broke back into this pattern. Oh, it's like the kiss of death almost. But it wasn't as bullish as what it normally would be, because usually when that happens, it's a slam down to the bottom. A lot of times it is. Didn't see that. That's a lot of strength. That's these moving averages here. That's where the price is just steadily going up. Man, look at this 100 moving average. The thing about moving averages I pay attention to is the angles and also the spacing. You can't, the spacing is kind of arbitrary. It depends on your eyeball. It's not the most accurate way to predict that. Well, when the price gets away from the 21 moving average, it's time to, well, that's kind of subjective to people. Is it that far away? How far away is too far away? That's why the 9 moving average comes in and just, no, right here. This is the marker. Works for me. Hell, you could get picky and go with the 3 moving average if you want to get that picky, but you're getting in and out a lot. 9 is pretty smooth. That's why I'll pick the 9 moving average and the 21 moving average on my 5 moving average strategy. Then I just play with the old school 200, 150 because, well, I've thought about fine tuning the 50, but I'm so used to it. Let's stick with what we know. Here on the daily, we got a nice little pumpy pump from 10.1 cents up to where we are now at, what is that, 12 cents? Go Kaspa. Yeah. Ooh, baby. That just means I mine more dollars worth every day. But it's not the dollar. No. Nice. I like this double bottom scenario that we're seeing here. Are we at a bottom? Well, no, bottoms are down here, but we are finding a support, and it's doing a double bottom pattern, which kind of indicates that we may be looking at a trend reversal. That's what I'm looking for. Let's pull a fib from this way down here. See where we are. 50% level. Now, sometimes you want to fine tune this. Sometimes I look at, see support resistance right here. Like this was the breakout. So I may take my measurement from there. That's kind of really where this whole impulse wave technically starts. There's different ways that you can fine tune this. Sometimes you just want to go all the way to the freaking bottom, and that's legit. That's what you normally do anyway, right? What does that give us? That gives us a bounce off of this 382, which by my Fibonacci strategy, a bounce off of 236 is extremely bullish. If you get that lucky, you're looking for a quick, fast up probability for that. If it never loses that area and starts going up, it's going to be a strong move. The next strongest one would be a bounce off this 382 for this overall move. It's telling us, hey, maybe I'm planning some bigger things, is what it's saying to me. And I get that from the overall move. Not just fine tuning it to the actual impulse. The impulse says we're getting a bounce off the 618. And that tells us, which I think we've already done, is take that move, put it out to the breakout. Now we got to find, I did it over here, right? But we don't have a breakout yet, so we got to still guesstimate. So this one, we fine tune as we go along, as we get more information and this plays out. Looks like we're getting some confluence up here about 22 cents at the 618, negative 618. That's one of my cheap fibs areas there. Sometimes I just like to double check and use the real version. Did I go too gang-ho on that one? Usually I find if I get the right pull fibs, it always goes up to the same fib level there. Not seen it yet. Now here's a question for you. This whole market is based on the square, the price and time, according to WDGAN. Could we therefore, if we did have a measure move, which would go at a breakout area, pay attention to some angles here. If we were to put that at an actual breakout area, oh hell, did you lose your train of thought? Oh gosh, I hate it when that happens. Could we predict that it might hit it at that day, Sunday, February 25th? I don't know. You never know till you try. Let's make a note of it. Seriously, I got to make a note of it though. Angle time test, that will hopefully resonate with me. Let's see. WDGAN figured out something. And I'm always looking for his little tricks. Could this be a possible bear trap breaking back above his pattern, giving us a nice move up to the upside? Maybe. Let's hope for it. Kaspa, I like what I'm seeing there. She's got to get above this trend line. Has to. If she does break above, what is that? Right at 12 cents? Switch to the regular candles here. She's trying to do it right now. Oh, that looks juicy. She can hold that. Let's see it. Let's do it, Kaspa. Let's do it. Going into a red cloud over here. I'm looking at my moving averages. The biggest thing I got to say, here on the daily, these moving averages, they're moving up. The 200 up and to the right. 100 right above it has a lot of weight behind it, up and to the right. Meaning we're more likely to go up right now because of that. The little unruly ones are just dipping below it. They obviously price is going to drag them right back up above it, and then it's off to the races, people. 22 cents. Will you finally get there out of Kaspa? Man, let's hope so. But before we do that, we got to come back up here and retest this this previous high that we had. So don't forget that. That's something to pay attention to. If it's not on your radar, it should be, because you got to make a higher high, and before you make a higher high, well, you got to go to that last high and test it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it gets rejected there. So if you're looking for the next target, somewhere around 15.4 cents-ish on the daily chart here, meaning that from where we are now, if we can hold this level, 32% gains possible. And I would expect rejection up here and a pullback. The question is, will it be a double top that will bring us to the downside more? Or will we go back into price discovery and kind of get hung up over here at 22 cents and trade sideways forever and a day again? I'm cool either way, man. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. It is now 3:21. I think I went just a little bit over, but we covered a lot. Got a lot of good information, I think, out there. What to look at for the market. I always like to end these streams just taking one more look at Bitcoin overall. Where is she at right now? Let's come down smaller time frame. Is she still looking bullish? She's doing pretty good. Let's put the regular candles on. That's one difference you'll see between the Heikin-Ashi and the regular candles. The wicks usually tell you where price actually is on the. I mean, it'll mark it here. It'll tell you the price, but as far as where it is on the pattern, it gets a little tricky. You have to kind of look at the wicks to see if they're going up or going down. Switch over to regular candles if you want to follow the actual price action. But I like Heikin-Ashi. It takes a lot of the noise out, and when it comes to pattern trading, It just makes it that much easier to identify them. It's not as noisy. Loves it. And when you're on a trend, it reminds you, hey man, I'm on an uptrend. We're on the Christmas tree candles. It's like, I might be on an uptrend, but I got a red candle. I don't know, man. I don't know. No, I'm bullish. Nope, I'm bearish. I'm bullish. I'm bearish. It gets confusing, man. I can actually just say, hey man, we good. And I like that. Keep it simple, so you don't have to spend your time trying to figure out, what does this mean? What does that mean? Let's just play this game with what we're giving in this, like that money. Still looking. I want to see this trend line get taken out. First, I want to see this one going above, and then I got to see this one taken out. And that happens. It's like, ooh, don't do the credit cards. Don't take a loan on your house. But if you got some dry powder, that's a really safe place to put it in. But I'm buying it more. Yeah, but you're buying a trend that's just automatically going to keep increasing in price. Whereas if you're trying to mail the perfect price to enter down here, man, you're like a yo-yo. I'm in the red. I'm in the green. I'm in the red. I'm in the green. Pretty much, you right here, you're staying in the green until you're pretty much established. And that's why they like to play it that way. Guys, thanks for hanging out. I'll be back tonight. We'll take a look at the market again. Shout out to everybody that's just hanging out. And if you can, hit that like button. So Elvis.
I just want to say thank you very much.
Get Elvis off my back. See you tonight. God bless you.